Hi guys, I thought I would get on here and do a positive video. I know sometimes we have a lot of negative stuff to go through, and certainly the way things have been going lately, a lot more negative stuff to talk about, but it's always good to, and I'm tired, and this harassment continues here, but we do have to get out and do some positive things once in a while, put on makeup, do our hair. Some days it's just so difficult to do that. But I want to wish you, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Whatever you're doing today, and, take a few moments we can appreciate, how far we've come, and, we still have ways to go, but, we have made a lot of progress. I certainly have in my personal life, and yours may vary, and all of us collectively. Sometimes it's good to take a brief moment and be present and mindful to see how far we've all come. Certainly, I was so excited when the Me Too movement, some of these things that certainly working women. I posted a couple things about the ladies that I know, and how competitive it's been and difficult. And certainly different groups, different offices, the kind of sexual harassment and the different discrimination and, fitting in and getting these jobs, even if you have the credentials, and being denied jobs and so on and so forth. And I look back over my career, and certainly it was pretty demoralizing to be told you didn't even have one and you're not a professional. So now transferring some of those skills into something that really, certainly with Me Too, and then of course the BLM, it was so exciting, the movement, and it was heartbreaking and tragic. I was there in the pinnacle of Twitter, and to see, people coming together. I mean, the people are amazing, amazing when they're allowed to come together and communicate. We were getting footage on the ground, and there's these wonderful activists, and God bless them for being on the front lines. And certainly we're there now again. People are there again. Because of what's going on with ICE and immigration, and the terrible passing of, the death of Renee Good and others that are facing this kind of violence. And it really moved me to want to be part of these things. And certainly I was never involved in this type of work. I was a communications professional. I was in a slot to be, in the hierarchy there, the climbing the ladder to be a director. And certainly this really impacted and changed in my life. I can remember my first little sign in Amsterdam, with peacefully protesting, and I was, so scared, and I just wrote it quick, and it was a little cardboard, and I sat out on the street, and one of the guys in the area came over for a little while, and, I didn't even know what I was doing. I had never done that before, and you're supposed to get a permit, but this was just, and I had called, and I had started learning about this. It was just me sitting on the porch. I was homeless. And he sat with me, and I remember the first car that honked the horn, and it was so exciting. And starting to read the stories and getting to know about activism, and and learning about our rights and the civil rights movement, and a lot of this stuff came together for me, and I was really excited. And tragically, Sandra Bland, this person that I had been following her story, and I was very moved by her story because she had the iPhone too, and she thought how powerful it was to hold this device in your hand, being able to capture video, being able to tell your story. And we won't know her story because tragically, she passed, and tragically. And for me, it was the same sort of aha moment. And it's not the tool; it's the perspective, it's the storytelling, it's the artist behind the lens. So it doesn't matter if you have a $10,000 camera or you have an iPhone. So that took off for me. And I just wanted to check in today, and we all take a moment. Certainly today is a great day to do that. To thank those that came before us, and to, pray for the strength and the blessing to continue on, because certainly it's this type of work you're in for the long haul. You don't see immediate results, and I'm just finding my way too, and learning with the protesting, and I had done a little tiny bit of advocacy in my previous profession, but certainly not up close and personal. Certainly we saw this on Twitter with George Floyd. It took off, the you know, the right there, and it just went viral, and things, and you know, exploded, and God bless the people that are on the front lines doing this work, and those of us that show, you know, those of us that try to contribute, and those that show up every day and do what they're doing. So I just want to wish you all the best, and hopefully we can continue. Times are still very difficult, and you know, to keep, you know, community, and you know, going forward and helping each other, and you know, in any way we can. Every little bit helps. So I want to say thank you for your support on my channel, even the haters, because they teach us something too, and you know, change direction and where we need to go and what we need to think about. And certainly a day like today, it's good to be mindful of how far we've come and how far we have to go. And it was very exciting on Twitter to get that kind of up close footage and to see the process. And I was so proud to be an American. You know, democracy in action, and the hard work that people do to help us all, and the government should work for everybody, all of us. So I wish you a happy holiday today with that, and however ways you celebrate. And I'm going to be doing the same, and thinking about the progress we've made in the hard stuff we've already gotten through. We need to give ourselves a pat on the back every once in a while to see how far we've come, and look at the good changes, and you know, that we've gotten through the healing too, and we're grieving, and so on and so forth. So thank you for being here, and I wish you a wonderful day, and God bless, and we'll talk again. Be safe, guys.